to make hopefully a helpful video for some of the mid-pack guys. Survival guide on getting around Adelaide. I think the thing that I want to focus on is we tend to practice on the same date, and I wanted to emphasize that when we get into the race server, the conditions are always going to be different. So I always like to spend a few laps driving quite conservatively to try to. What I'm doing is getting a feel for what the conditions are like, because they're going to be different. So all your normal braking points, you're going to back them up a little bit, and definitely be easier in general. Just focusing on feeling it out, like what's working for these conditions. Make those adjustments. Once you feel comfortable, sort of dialed into how the track is, what you're getting from the track and the wind and the tires, you can start pushing a little harder. But, for example, today it's 18 degrees ambient temperature, but the track's 38 degrees, and there's like a 20 degree or 20 kilometer per hour wind, and that wind is really sort of forcing me to have to push my braking point quite a bit further back on another part of the track. I'll talk about it when we get there. But this next lap I'm just going to sort of drive how I would say the first lap or two of a race, because I'm just trying to, all I want to do is survive and start gauging what the conditions are like and how the rest of the race is going to be. So I don't, it's like I don't gear down as far as I normally do if I'm trying to go fast. For example, in here, I'll just go down to second, roll through, get with as much momentum as I can, keep it on the apexes. In this turn, I'm going to be very conservative. Just look for a path through, just not take much curb. Yeah, and the wind here, I think, is at our backs, because I'm having to back my braking plan to quite a bit before that, and I'm just trying to get these apexes, limiting my wheel spin, trying to keep up with the guy in front of me if I can. If I can't, that's okay. Anyone from behind me can go fuck themselves. I'm doing my thing. This is probably going to be like a 29 lap. That's fine. So there's a lot of traffic if you're qualifying in the mid-pack like I do. It might be a little bit, I'm going really slow here, so maybe doing a 30. So I wouldn't be this slow. I think the point I'm trying to make is we're on lap one, and we're just trying to figure out what the conditions are like. And then I'll gradually work my way up. Maybe 10 laps in, if I'm feeling comfortable, like I got it, I know what I'm dealing with, then I'm going to start pushing. But all I'm doing now is I'm feeling this thing out. Focusing on my apex there. Mid-turn maneuverability is so important on this track. This sequence, you want to make sure you're on those apexes. And do one more sort of warm-up lap, and then we'll slow down and talk about some markers. Well, we'll talk about it next time through. As I said earlier, it feels like we've got a big tailwind here, so my braking point's like back here. You just don't want to be late on this entry. There's nothing but trouble missing any of these apexes, and all you want to do is just these 90-degree turns is try to get on that apex, and by doing that you're going to be set yourself up for the angle you need to get through it. I get out wide so that I can have the car rotated pointing the right direction by the time I'm through that apex. And here, that arrow there is a good braking marker, and then I try to hug this curb here, and then I want to take, be kind of just going straight through here if I can. And then that 50 marker on the right, if I don't brake by the time that thing disappears out of my windshield, I'm screwed. So make sure you're braking before that thing is out of your visibility. For this, the 100 markers, not really where I brake. I kind of brake here where I see these skid marks. I try to get a little bit of that curb there and then come across the tip of that apex, and then if you get this exit right, you'll feel a lot of slipping on when you hit the throttle. That's the best feeling because you get a good run there. It's the money. And then, so for the straight here, again, you want to kind of feel out where the wind is. If you've got a headwind here, you can probably brake after the 150. If you've got a tailwind, you got to brake before. It's one of those things you feel out at the beginning of a race. First 5-10 laps, I'm really taking it easy. I don't go down to first gear on hairpins yet. I only do that when I know I've got good control. I've got locked in on the conditions, and then I can start going for some faster laps, like getting down to the 26s and 25s. But I'm happy with 28s and 27s to start off the race. And we're going to go through T1 slope here, talk about it a little bit. Alright, so the transition from the yellow to the white, that's like the very latest you want to brake. This curve here on the right is interesting. I find if I turn in just before I get to that, I get good angle through those curbs. So I look to the beginning of that curve on the right is sort of like a indicator on when I do my turn in. So yeah, I think that's kind of in terms of markers. All these 90s, the 50 sign, that's your latest brake point. I go through in second gear, just keep it in second on the throttle brake. Always hit the apex, always hit the apex. A lot of brake throttle modulation through here. I'm going to switch to the inputs, so we can see a little bit of that. Here, a little tap, late. So I had to wait a little bit to get up throttle there because I was late on my turn in. So that wasn't a good example. Hopefully next time around I'm going to do a couple fast laps now. Short shift out of here. Keep the tail in check. You can take a little bit of that curve. No problem. Just off that curb, start your slow down. You can push that back later as the race goes on. Again, it's all about getting comfortable. Once you're settled in, you can start hammering it. Took too much of that curve there, but still managed to get a good exit out there. So this could be a 26 lap if I get the rest of this right. in. That's crap. Sorry, guys. There we go. So that's like a good clean trip through there. It's not the fastest way, but that will work. Start getting more aggressive once you're really comfortable, confident. A little drift through there, that's fun. Arrow brake. Modulate the brake. Throttle, brake, throttle. The apex, good exit. This is good. Money, right there, that's it. That's what we want. I really should be in second gear there. I was able to get on the brake a little later there. So this should be a 26. Alright, good. So there we go. Alright, hopefully this helps.